Yeah,
Yeah, what's up?
yeah. What happened?
Lang's got to be in the trunk. I mean, a lot happened, man. You know, I think the confusing part is thinking that all this was over one comment.
But why? You're so dumb, dude. Why would you shoot him? We had this talk before about being like, you know, not pushing shit and getting people shot and killed until it's their time, right? With Zahn. Remember how we had that talk?
Yeah, no, I remember.
So why the fuck are you shooting him over pussy? Now it just sticks and then you're fucked.
Okay, so here's the thing. I just said it's not over just the pussy comment, right? So let me explain.
Okay.
For at least since the split, minimum, he's had a problem with what the fuck's going on. To be honest, now that I think about it, I think he was upset he wasn't chosen for the North or didn't go to the North. With hindsight, okay. Now, this guy's consistently ridiculing the North, the South, and essentially the Dons in the South as well.
In what way?
I mean, just speaking negatively about decisions, which, I laid the foundation in the South early on just for an easy transition. So I could, I basically told everyone, listen, no one's going to get shot over, over bringing up concerns, because that was the main fear for some reason to begin with. So I said, it's an open floor. You can speak your mind on things. Now, Ilya,
Yeah.
as you know, my fucking enforcer, he was the main person to shut down any sort of anyone being out of line in any capacity. He was always one to, bring it back to the business, bring it back to Cyprus. But once the split happened, that wasn't really the case. I think he had a different idea of what Cyprus was than what the Dons and what it was becoming.
What decisions was he like critiquing, and how were how were the critiques like worded? Like, was he just straight up talking shit, or was he trying to actually help?
I mean, you know him. A mix of both. It was a lot of talking shit towards the end. At first, he was trying to. I could tell he was trying to be on the same page. Like, I spent every fucking day with this guy. I fucking like the guy, right? It's not like I don't fucking like the guy. I fucking hate the guy. So I'm like, I'm annoyed of him. He called me a pussy one time. It's over. Like, the fact that is even a thought in anyone's head is just confusing.
Well,
Like,
I mean,
if anyone fucking knows me at all, it's not just one thing. If that was the case, I would have blown up a fucking year ago. I would have blown up on every single person.
But how many things have happened, and a narrative was built based off of the last few things that led up to it, and instead of the actual fucking story? Buddy, that's like 95% of the time. I was trying to get that point across to you with the whole Zahn thing, right? Because that's just how that works. All these people that get shot, all these people that do stupid shit in the city, they get critiqued on the last few things of that narrative instead of the actual fucking story behind everything. That's how that stuff works. That's why I think you're really fucked up.
Brother.
Because now everybody, no matter what the story is, no matter what happened, no matter who made the call, no matter what Ilya did before, if Ilya killed a pregnant lady a day before, they're gonna still say it's because you called him a pussy the next day. Because that's what happened the next day.
If if that's coming from the mouth of people who I've went out of my way to fucking help constantly, then what the fuck am I supposed to do there? And at what point do I start giving a fuck about that? Right?
You gotta start learning to play your cards, okay?
Brother, fuck the cards, fuck all that shit.
See, that's what the fuck I thought a few years ago, and it ended me up in a living fucking hell, and that's where you're gonna end up, in a living fucking hell, if you don't fucking shape up here. You have cards, okay? And when someone is showing you theirs, you don't automatically show yours as well all the time, okay? You understand? That might be a little vague and a little hard to understand, but I think you're starting to now. That's how this works. You're really fucked up here, Clark. I'm serious. I'm serious. You're fucked up here.
Okay, so other than the outside perspective, tell me how I fucked up. This guy had his fucking Luciano. Listen for a second. Me, Luciano, we fucking laid our hands on him. I spoke to this guy for fucking months, every fucking day, pulling him aside. You can't be saying that shit. Like, I basically at some point I was like, I gotta just let him in on shit that I'm thinking. So I'm telling him shit like things will, you know, not that it's gonna get better or, you know, fucking empty promises and shit like that. But I'm telling him like, you can't be speaking out of line like that. You can't be speaking to me any type of way. You can't be speaking about the North any type of way. Remember when me and you were, you know, we were joking in Lang's car right after our first Polito job? And he said, hey, cut that shit out. And we both cut that shit out.
Yeah.
Why? I mean, you and I can both take a joke. We both know that. Lang knows we can take a joke. But the point is, it's not good. It's not good for the South. It's not good for the North. It's not good for the entirety of it.
Yeah.
So anything
exactly.
like that,
So,
I cut that shit down. I made sure he wasn't doing that shit. Now, it's not like every day you saying, yo, fuck Lang, fuck Marty, fuck all that shit. But it was an overall, like he fucking lost the plot is what I'm saying. He lost the plot and he dove deeper and deeper and deeper. And I gave him chance after chance, talking to after talking to, hoping he would come around. This was about fucking 2 months of me just being patient because I know he's got the right mindset. I know he's for Cyprus, but I think he was good for what Cyprus was and not what it's becoming or what it's going to be. Does that make sense? It became separate. It became separate. I wish it didn't. I fucking like the guy, man. I spent every fucking day with him. But every day someone new was coming to me. This guy is going out of his way to berate me. It's like the conversations I had with him. It's like when you have a convo with Zeke. Sometimes you fucking tell him something and then, you know, and then he's chill for a week, right? He has his fucking emo phase where you think, oh, he's like learning, whatever. And then a week and a half later, he does the same shit, right? And you're like, what the fuck? Like, didn't I fucking tell you? Why don't you fucking listen? Why don't you fucking listen? We were so close. I don't have a burning desire to kill anyone. I've never fucking raised a gun. I've never pulled the trigger on anyone in Cyprus on purpose, other than Ilya. I have never, ever done that. You know that. You know I'm one to try to settle shit before it gets too crazy.
Well, you did have your one moment that one time, but...
No, I agree. But we talked about that. We figured that shit out. But I'm not going to raise a gun over you talking shit to me. So you can see my fucking confusion when that's all I'm hearing, or I'm getting texts hearing that or saying that. It's fucking confusing, right? Now I get what you're saying. Look, perspective is everything. I've always fucking said that. Okay? I understand what you're saying on the narrative of things. And that's not lost on me. Like, it's not. But the reality is, what happened fucking happened, right? And there's more to it. And if people don't come and ask me for it, and they just go off of, it's because, you know, Clark got called a fucking pussy. Brother, I mean, then you just don't fucking know me. And I know you guys know me. So that's the fucking confusing part for me. So you're saying, don't play my cards. You know, you got to know when to play your cards. This isn't some fucking scheme for me. I've never been one to, like, sure, I'll fucking hold my tongue, right? If a Don's trying to, if Lang has got a goddamn Tommy gun in my mouth, I'm not going to say some shit. I'm going to keep it to myself. Or I'm going to be like, you know what? He's fucking right. If he's pissed about this shit, it's probably for a fucking reason. Probably because I fucked up.
Okay, and that's why you're an underboss, and that's why Ilya wasn't, okay? You asked me a question, and you said, what did I do wrong other than the outside perspective and how they perceive it?
Yeah.
You did nothing wrong, in my opinion, right? You did nothing wrong. But the outside perspective is what matters. When you're in a position of leadership or in hierarchy and you have a responsibility for people, right? That's the only thing that matters. Okay.
I'm gonna no.
That's the only thing that matters.
You did a lot wrong, and you know you did a lot wrong.
Is it? Well, where the fuck did you come from?
You know you did a lot wrong.
Lang's here.
You know you did.
What was it?
You know deep down inside you fucking did, brother. You killed a guy on a whim. Okay, let's drop the bullshit.
That is not the case.
There may have been some buildup, Clark. There may have been some situations, but you would have handled that accordingly. You would have called the Dons. You would have sat down. Would have been, listen, there's multiple situations being brought up. There's this, that, and the third coming to me saying that Ilya's doing this. He's been disrespectful. We gotta. I'm
glad you brought that up.
You spent 10 hours with the guy. He gave you shit for wanting to go to bed. You, for some reason, took it personally. You turned around, told him to say it again. He said he's not going to say it, and then you shot his ass.
I'm glad you brought that up.
Let's just call it what it is.
No, I'm glad you brought that up. Here's why. Look, Lang, the other Dons told me, right? If you need to kill every motherfucker in this place, you have our backing. We know you're not going to fucking do something out of nowhere. I'm not one to do things on a whim, Lang. And
I don't care what, and I'm not one to be calm and collected, but sometimes I gotta be calm and collected, Clark. You went out on a whim and you shot him on a whim, brother. Whether you want to accept that or not, that is what happened. Now there may be situations that you can now use to justify that moment, brother, and I'm sure that there are, but it doesn't change the fact of how that went. And then after that, you had Zeke take care of the problem.
Well,
there was no blood out. There was nothing. It's Zeke, you handle this. I gotta go.
That I agree with. I have two regrets. I have two regrets in this entire fucking thing. One is not just taking Ilya to the hospital myself. Because at that time, it wasn't about me blooding him out. I did what I did. I told him I'm done taking his shit. He's continuously disrespecting me, you, the fucking North, the South, all the Dons.
Well, stop with this disrespecting you. I don't give a fuck. The fact of the matter is, you guys know Ilya. You guys know Ilya. You have a situation where the besties rob you of $250K, and then you're forcing Ilya to go boosting with the fucking besties that just robbed them, and the entire time in the fucking boost, they're taking shots and I'm fucking mocking them for being robbed and shot at. There's situations like this where you guys expect Ilya to be okay with, and the fact that you guys are even allowing yourselves to succumb to that level is just baffling, Clark. That is y'all's vision of building relationships, is just spreading your cheeks and just taking the dick in the ass. These are the situations you have a problem. You have a problem that Ilya had a problem that he had to go and ride out with the guys who shoot and kill him every fucking day. Have a problem that he's calling that a problem?
Like, why would I have a problem with that? Do you not know me at all?
Come on, brother. Come on. Ilya was calling out the bullshit and the soft shit going down within the South. Whether you wanted to admit or agree or not, that's what he was continuously doing.
And I've said before many times that I've agreed with him on that shit.
Luciano takes a massive problem with that because what Luciano thinks he's doing is being diplomatic. But the reality is he's bending over and asking for dick in his ass.
That's what I was getting at.
Do you not think that? Do you think I don't agree with that? Not the whole bend over part.
Brother, you guys are bending over, but that part is irrelevant. The part is that there was grievances that Ilya had within the crew. And if you thought it was a problem to blood him out, that is a conversation you would have had with the Dons, just as we've had with most people that were causing problems. And then the catalyst of all of this is when I split the North and the South, your Dons push narratives that, oh, this is never going to happen again. We're not going to kill people on the whim. Lang is gone. He's the problem. He killed everybody on fucking impulse. We're not going to kill you guys for no fucking reasons. We're only going to kill you and blood you out if you're an absolute concrete treasonist.
Mm-hmm.
Months later, you go and you blood out Ilya for calling you a pussy, and then there's some maybe more potential motive behind it. It doesn't matter.
It's not maybe. There was.
Ilya's not a treasonist. Is Ilya a treasonist?
No, I think.
So why did he get blooded out?
I think he should have went to the North long ago.
It doesn't matter. See, you're doing the same thing Arush is doing.
I
can sit here and I can go back in time and I can talk about what I could have done.
No, I agree. I agree with that. I'm not trying to go back in time and say shit.
Ilya a treasonist?
No, he's not a fucking treasonist.
So why did he get blotted out?
For consistent fucking disrespect and not listening to a fucking thing.
At that point, you were already wrong.
That might not matter to you, but that is what they said to me.
No, it doesn't matter because this was an agreement. This was an agreement. We made an agreement that we are no longer going to blood out anybody from the North and the South unless they are absolute treasonists. You guys blooded out somebody who was calling out the bullshit that he thought he saw within the South. And he couldn't handle that anymore.
That is not the case.
That is the case, Clark.
It's not the case.
That is the case.
It's not the case.
So when are you going to blood out Zeke next? Because he's also equally as mouthy as Ilya. And I'm pretty sure you argue with the guy probably.
If you want me to be honest, he's been in conversation as well.
Yeah,
wonderful. So the guy who was the catalyst of doing all this shit in the South left the South, but the same problems actually exist in the South. So that's very interesting. Then. So who's next after Zeke? Who else is not going to be allowed to fucking stand up for what he believes is right within the South and get blurted out for? I thought we were done with this shit. Are we not done with this whole? I thought we were moving on from this. Let's blood anybody out that speaks out immediately. I thought we were done with that.
Listen, I'm not. Obviously, I'm not a fucking Don, right? But aren't these fucking conversations that you guys had?
On the court and do whatever the fuck you want. You were Don to me, brother.
I mean, shit.
I'm gonna be honest. I literally thought you were a Don yesterday.
Look, they gave me the power and the control to do that when they're, they trust me in making that decision. Now, if you don't think I made the right decision, that's fine.
No, you know you didn't make the right decision. You know you didn't. Because again, the buildup doesn't matter. The action of how you blooded out Ilya was the worst way to ever go about it.
How does the buildup not matter? No,
it doesn't matter. The way you did it, Clark. The way you did it. You hung out with the guy for 10 hours straight. You had a great day making money with the guy. The guy said, "Oh, why are you going to bed, you sleepy pussy?" You turn around and you shot him. Even people that we've blooded out on a whim and on an impulse, we have stood there and we made it clear as to why the fuck they're out.
Yeah.
We stood there and we lectured and we fucking drilled it in their head why they were about to die, Clark. It was never wake up. Oh, I'm going to shoot you in the hell. This guy's gone. Get rid of him. And you know that because you were there for most of the fucking killings, brother. Look how we fucking did the veto. The guy who deserved to never be blotted out. One of the most loyal members of Cyprus. Look how we did him when we blotted his ass out. We give him a send-off. We give him his fucking final words because he deserved that at the very least. If we were going to backstab the motherfucker and get rid of him, at the very least, he deserved a proper send-off. And if you don't think Ilya, the guy who was here before you were here, even before Luciano was really here, didn't deserve a fucking proper send-off and to know what the fuck he was being killed for, I don't know what to tell you about it. If you don't think that's the right way to do it, then, man, I've been wrong about you the whole time.
No, you're putting words in my mouth, Lang. It's not that... here's my thing. I shot him down for that. And the buildup does matter. I get what you're saying, that at the time, what fucking happened, no, I don't want him to get blooded out like that. But I informed Speedy of what the fuck happened.
You shot up and said, "Zeke, take care of this. I gotta go."
Yes.
Damn, you went straight to bed right after?
Almost.
Damn.
Like I was saying, this was a conversation in the making. This was a decision in the making. I did not make the decision to blood him out.
Of course not, because the South Dons have to stand by your decision so they don't look weak. Of course they're going to stand behind it.
No, what I'm saying is, he could have been, I mean, you know, I'm not one to shoot and then you shoot my own fucking person then hang out with them later, right? But...
You're doing it with the besties, though. What are you talking about? You guys are actively doing this with other crews. So, yes, you
Come on,
guys are
don't
the
say
kind of people that do that now.
It's just not true.
So the whole bestie situation is a lie. Is that a lie?
You think I'm one to go shoot someone
Clark,
down and then be best?
Is it a lie?
Do you not know me at all, Lang?
Clark, answer the question. Is the bestie situation a lie? Yes or no?
The situation of the fucking robbing and then immediately going and doing a fucking boost after. No, that's not a fucking lie.
Of course. Are you? Did the besties rob you guys for $250K or whatever, and then maybe the next day or week or whatever the fuck you are boosting with them while they're fucking taking shots at Ilya the whole time? Did that happen? Yes or no?
Say that again,
brother. Do I really have to repeat myself? You are so avoidant of the truth because you know what the truth is.
You are latching on to everything.
I'm not the kind of guy that's going to hang out with people who shoot at me the very next day, but you guys are becoming those kinds of people. You are.
Listen, I am not going out of my way to fucking hang out with the besties. I'm not doing jobs with the fucking besties.
Doing it. Your dons are doing it.
Do you think I like that shit?
It doesn't matter. You represent them. You are their underboss. Just as Martin represents me. Martin is my underboss. If Martin goes and does something, he's doing it on behalf of my image. That is why if he goes and he fucks up, I'm going to give him shit for it. Why? Because he's doing it on behalf of my image. And he understands that. How do you not understand that now? I feel like you understood that more than most people. Doesn't matter what.
Do you wait? And now I'm confused. So Marty, no shit, Marty. You know, represents the North and just Cyprus in general.
Right. So if
I'm not going hanging out with the fucking besties. So what does that have to do with me?
Because it doesn't matter. Because if I started hanging out with people that shoot me,
I'm not hanging out with anyone that fucking shoots me.
Whether he likes it or not, he's a part of that. Even if he disagrees with that, that is his image now, brother. Why? Because he represents the North.
That's
right.
right.
You don't get that.
I do get that. I don't know why you're saying I don't get that. I'm not hanging out with the fucking besties. I'm not hanging out with the fucking Saints. I'm not hanging out with any of them.
Because
I'm fucking here 24/7.
Because you're standing there and you're saying you're not the kind of guy that hangs out with the people that shoot you.
Because I'm not.
But you are. But you are. You are.
Was I hang?
You are a
okay, well, I can say the same thing about you guys then.
Actively does
what is the difference with all X404 people still hang out with 404 people or staying in contact?
We've already handled that situation.
No, that's my point. I don't.
You are now speaking lies, brother.
Okay, now I'm speaking lies. So
you are, because that situation has been handled.
Perfect. So that's my point. This situation has been handled. I'm not fucking hanging out with these guys.
Come on. It has not been handled.
What is the difference?
It has not. You guys still trying to have a positive relationship with the besties? Yes or no?
Oh, probably, yeah.
Well, then the situation has not been handled. Like, what are you talking about? Do you know the situation with the manor?
Don't bring that up, please.
Am I going to be forced to bring these up?
You're talking about with me or with you guys? What are you talking about?
With you guys, brother.
Obviously,
Everybody knows about it.
Yeah, obviously I fucking know about it. Am I happy with it? No.
But you can't stand there, Clark, and be like, it's handled when it's very clear not. And listen, we don't have to sit here and argue because it's very obvious. You guys, like you said yourself to Martin, you guys are going in a very different way than what Cyprus originally intended to be. Now, we don't have to go into that because all I'm going to do is end up insulting the fuck out of you in the South because we don't have to go there. Okay? But you cannot stand there and pretend that these things are not happening when they are. And you can't stand there and be like, I'm not a part of this. When you are the underboss, brother. You are if you were just, an original member, bot member, okay, sure, maybe it's not totally on you, right? You're bought in, you're just here, I get it. Brother, you are an underboss. If you are capable of butting somebody out on a whim, come on. You are a part of whatever the fuck is going on down there as a whole, brother.
It is not a whim. I don't understand how we still think that. But I see your point on
I changed my mind on that.
That's fine. That's fine. Like, I spent a lot of fucking time with that guy. And I know you fucking liked him. The Destroyer of Worlds. And I saw the fucking point. Through and through.
It's not a matter of liking the guy, it's understanding who that guy was. And even though the Dons, they're going to want to play this, oh, you should have brought him to the north if you liked him so much. None of that matters because Ilya was a fucking OG, brother. That guy was here in the very fucking beginning. Oh my God, the history of that guy. The way, I don't even give a fuck. You got to blow the guy out. The send-off that he was given.
I agree with this. I agree with that.
It's just insane. It's sad. It's
no,
the same
I agree
shit
with that.
Did to me. He fucking caused a big problem and then pawned it off to somebody else to handle it. I never thought you would have been that guy, Clark.
No, I agree with that. Like I said, that's my one regret in all this. I don't give a fuck about the narrative. Obviously, I wish that I was able to, I would have, on the phone call with you, just said, you know what, let's talk about this in a sec. I can give you the whole rundown, even though we'd probably still be in the same spot. But at least, like I said, I don't give a fuck about the narrative. I don't give a fuck about what people think. It's about, I agree. He didn't have a good send-off, and that's entirely on me.
So then why didn't you say or do anything about it?
Yeah.
Because, okay, like, listen, I love Luciano, but I promise you, if you stood your ground and you said, hey, listen, like, I'm not doing that. That's not how he's getting blooded out. Like, we at least got to, like, rework this or, like, at least give him another try. He got shot here. Like, this isn't the right situation. I promise you he's not contesting you in that situation. There's no way. But you clearly did not stand your ground. You just let it happen. You just agreed. Like, if you thought it was fundamentally wrong, why are you not doing your responsibility as an underboss to be an underboss? Like, this is part of your role. Like, the Dons are human beings just like you, me, and Lang, right? They're going to make mistakes or they're going to make wrong decisions. We all do. So if you can recognize it right away, why aren't you recognize it? Why are you
the plan was to
everyone down, essentially?
All right, we'll skip over that last part. But the plan was to give him a proper send-off afterwards.
It wasn't.
It just becomes too messy. It doesn't work anyway.
That's not lying, brother.
It's not.
That was never the plan.
That was discussed. It absolutely was. That was the plan.
No, it being discussed and it being the plan are vastly different. That was never the plan.
Afterwards, when I told them what the fuck happened, it was absolutely the plan. That is not what happened, though.
Listen, and I want to be respectful because I got a lot of respect for you. I don't know if you're intentionally lying or if you're being delusional. There was never a plan to give Ilya a proper send-off. Come on. There was never even a conversation to blooding out Ilya. This all just happened. And it's like I told you, and I'm telling you this because you weren't on the boss. Every single person, even people that had no reason of being blooded out when we were united as a whole, there was a discussion, there was a plan, and there was action. Every single person. From fucking Stevie, to fucking DeVito, to the 404, Every single, even that fucking random schmuck. I forgot his name. We had Martin fucking blood out. Who the fuck was that? What was his name again?
John.
John. Even fucking John, fucking scum rat, doesn't even deserve my time of day. We had a discussion on how we were going to get rid of him.
Yeah. Look. Like I said, I don't disagree with a lot of what you're saying. Marty's Lang talking?
No.
Okay.
Lang? Lang? Oh, I think he's tweaking. Hey, Unc. You take your meds this morning? Unc. Unc.
What the fuck is going on? Hello?
Oh, hello?
Yeah, I don't know if you were talking,
hear
but I
us?
couldn't hear you.
What the fuck was that? Hello? Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
You good?
Yeah, I'm good. I think shit's really fucking getting real weird around me. Anyways, 1 second. Let's just give me 1 second.
Okay.
All right.
I think his hearing aid died. Hey, wow, he can't hear me. Sorry. Sorry.
Brother, don't apologize.
Sorry.
Anyways, what was I saying?
No, you were saying something like even a rat fuck like John got a send off, and I understand what you're saying.
It's not a send off. No.
A discussion.
Even a rat fuck like John, there was a discussion, and there may have even been a vote. Like here's my problem, right? And this is what the Dons will never understand because they're too emotional that I left them. That's just the reality. Is that tradition in South Cyprus has died. There's no tradition. All the traditions that we spent months building is gone.
I wouldn't entirely agree with that.
Of course you won't, because you're not going to see the error of your ways, my man. There was no vote on Ilya being blotted out. There was no conversation.
Do you think I take accountability for anything?
What was that?
Do you think I'm an accountable person? I take accountability for my shit or no? When all's said and done.
It's not a matter of you taking accountability. I think you.
Oh, it is. You're saying I'm delusional.
No, with all the respect, yeah, I think you are lost in delusion, thinking you did nothing wrong. So it's impossible for you to take accountability.
I just said I regret two things about this. I do not think I did nothing wrong.
When I think that you know you've done something wrong, you take accountability. Yeah.
Like I said, I regret two things about this. It was a send off. Well, I guess it was mainly a send off.
Yeah, I mean, if that's the only part of the regret, then you were wrong.
I will absolutely take accountability for that.
There should have been a discussion, and there should have been a plan. There should have been an action. It shouldn't have been, hey, Clark, do what you want when we're asleep. Do what you got to do. We'll deal with it the next day. It should never be that way. With all the respect, you are an underboss as well. You're not a don. And this is where I'm willing to let go, because I get that you guys are doing your own thing in the South now, right? But in my mind, to blood out somebody like Ilya needed to be a very important decision. And like you said, you might not care what people say or their opinions or what they think of you, but the people around you in this North and South, whether you want to believe it or not, saw that somebody else just got blooded out for what was seemingly nothing when we told them that was going to stop.
I can understand from the outside perspective, it seems like it was nothing. I'm not on some fucking PR training course right now. It was for something. It was the consistent fucking, I know you don't want to, I don't know if you don't want to agree with it or you just don't want to believe it, but it was consistent disrespect. It wasn't just him speaking his fucking mind. Lang, you know this. I mean, I truly believe you know this. Like, I've talked to this fucking guy so many fucking times. It does know. How does it not matter? If you give someone 13 chances and they spit in your face 13 times.
Unless they're absolute treasonous. That was something that was agreed upon, brother. That was something that was agreed upon. And if you're going to stand there and if you're going to tell me that you thought Ilya was a treasonous, then yeah, I'd be like, great, you blotted him out. Okay, but you stood there and you said that he was not a treasonous.
I agree.
Yeah, so there was no reason for him to be blotted out. Unless we're going to go back on that agreement. you not agree with that?
That whole agreement, I can see your point of view on that. But the conversations that happened about Zeke, about Ilya beforehand, it wasn't about him being a treasonist. It was about the consistent disrespect. Like I said, I'm not trying to beat the dead horse. I'm not. But maybe there's a disconnect or a miscommunication somewhere on the sole reason why someone should be blooded out.
It's not really a disconnect. I get it. I get that the guy was mouthy and he fucking talked a lot of shit and questioned the things that we did, but he's always done that, right? I get that. To me, if we're going to stand on the agreement that we made, that's not a reason to ever blood anybody out. Ever. Now, if we're going to go back to our old ways where we're just going to blood motherfuckers out on the whim, do whatever the fuck, then yeah, fuck it. Fuck Ilya. Fuck that motherfucker. Let's sit around here and laugh, right? But a lot of things transpired since we were doing that. And a lot of perspective was gained and a lot of things were changed. And agreements were literally put in place. Not on my end, by the way, on your Don's end. They put that agreement in place. No more blooding out people for no fucking reason. We're done with that shit. The morale here is fucked. We got to make sure we thrive, survive, whatever. Okay, no problem.
Well, it seems like things changed then.
Yeah.
You know?
It wasn't an impulsive decision.
It was an impulsive decision.
It was because
Well, let me tell you.
No. Hold on. It was impulsive because if things changed, but things didn't change because Clark Mason went, guys, we need to have a meeting. Fuck this shit. I know we said we were going to kill a treasonist. Ilya needs to die. Here are the reasons why. Boom. Good. Then yeah, you're right. Things didn't change on an impulsive decision. The way things changed was you smoked the guy randomly one day after spending 10 hours with him. Yeah, there may be reason for it. Sure, whatever. I'll give you that. But the way he was smoked was very. You had no plans to ice Ilya that day, did you? Yes or no? Did you wake up that morning planning to ice Ilya?
No.
So it was an impulsive decision.
You got your ass. Listen, let me tell you why it was on a whim and an impulsive. I was gonna bring it up throughout our conversation.
Brother, how many times do you tell someone with the gun in their mouth to shut the fuck up? No more disrespect on anyone's fucking part. And it continues to come from all angles. At what point do you say enough is enough? That's my question.
Clark, let me tell you why it was on a whim and on impulse, okay? You started the conversation by saying, let me be honest, I think Ilya was just upset that he wasn't moved to the north, and that's kind of like the whole basis of this thing.
I did not say that's the whole basis of this thing. I said
exactly that.
I said in hindsight, you know, I think that has to do with it, but I'm not going to put all the blame on that. No, come on.
That is like that is just justification for a mistake that you made that you're not willing to admit, and it was impulse. That is literally what this is. Listen, and I'm not trying to sit here and say you're a fucking idiot for it. I've done it too many times in my life. Too many. You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to help you point it out to you so you understand better.
The reality is, what is said is done, right?
Yeah.
And you killed the guy. Oh, you blooded the guy out. Whatever. It is what it is. The problem here is, to me, is even after that was done, everything after that was handled horrendously. You had to go tell Leah that you had an update for me, and then I had to call you to find out that one of the fucking OGs of Cyprus was blooded out.
Well, that's also not true.
It's true.
No, I went up to, they were at the senior buns. I pulled up, said, hey, I'm gonna talk to you guys. And I went, actually, I should probably reach out to Lang. Never mind.
Yeah, that's fine. Either way, that's how I had to find out. As a Don of Cyprus, I had to find out that one of our OG members got blooded out because that's even worse, because you ran into some of my people at senior buns and then mentioned you had to speak to me. And again, another agreement that we had when this giant split happened is we're going to notify each other on buy-ins, and we're going to notify each other on bloodouts.
And that's exactly what I was going to do.
Brother, you're not a Don, brother. Unless you are a Don, then yeah, maybe then it was done correct. Are you a Don?
No, I'm not a fucking Don.
No, then it's not on you to do that. It's on your fucking leaders to do that.
Is Zeke a Don?
Zeke was Don for a day for some reason.
Okay.
That day has passed.
Shit is sad.
Look, I don't love the way everything's going.
I mean, and brother, I mean, even with the blooding out of Ilya, just discovering all these other things that are going down in the South, brother, it's just sad.
Well, like
man.
what?
It's just the way you motherfuckers are bending over backwards for these other gangs in light of building relationships, in hopes of building connections, is crazy, brother. You had fucking one of the guys in the manor bitch about the gun you took from them, set up a meeting to give the gun back to negotiate peace. You give him the gun. He throws the gun at your feet and walks away. And that's the respect y'all want? That is the positive relationship y'all want?
Brother, absolutely not. No one wants a positive fucking relationship with those guys.
Clearly, you guys do. Nothing was done about that.
Well, I'll tell you right now, the armory's full for that reason.
It doesn't matter, brother. Okay, so see, that's where our differences are now, right?
Nah, I can agree with this. I know what you're about to say, and I agree with this.
You are trading dignity for physical items. You are trading self-respect for an armory.
I didn't like this call either.
I would rather be a broke man with $0, nobody around me, as long as I had my self-respect and dignity. So maybe that's what you said earlier in the meeting was right, where you guys are different now. You're willing to be, a cheap whore on the streets for a little bit of guns. And that to me breaks my fucking heart, Clark.
See, now you're just saying shit, Lang.
I'm not. How was that not the truth?
I told
you
Lush,
literally just said, well, the armory's full because of it.
I told Lush.
The manor fucked us in the ass, but the armory's full.
No. What I'm saying is, we had no gun. This was the idea, right? The idea that the Dons wanted was, we have no guns. We can't go to war with these guys. Okay, so let's go through this fucking meeting, and then we'll get the guns up and go to war with these guys. That was my point at the armory. Now, even that, I don't fucking love. I'd rather just, even if I got a fucking pencil in my hand, I'd rather just go handle shit right then and there. When the disrespect is in my fucking face, rather than be like, okay, I'm gonna go bend over now, suit up my fucking armory, and then come back when I can. Like, fuck that. I agree with that.
The Spartans fought as 300 people against one of the biggest armies in the fucking world because they had honor and self-respect, Clark. Sometimes a battle is worth fighting even if you have nothing, due to the principle.
I completely agree.
Sometimes the disrespect you are given is worth going up against due to the fucking principle. And I'm one of those guys that I will eat the L and I will be the loser to end the war. I do it more than anybody, but sometimes you gotta look at the situation and say,
fuck it. I completely agree.
You motherfuckers keep running into those situations, and this is what you.
Don't do it.
Yeah, stick it in my ass, forehead. Go ahead, stick it right in there, forehead. That's what y'all do.
Jesus fuck.
That's what y'all do. Clark.
Lang, do you think I like that shit?
I know you don't, and this is what bothers me. Because imagine if
I am trying.
Imagine if the besties robbed you of $250K, and the next day I'm forcing you to boost with them, and the entire time you are boosting with them, they are going at you for robbing you and shooting you. Yo, Clark, how did that fucking Tommy gun feel in your fucking chest when I unloaded that fucking drum mag, you fucking bastard? Oh, Clark, where's that $250K in your bank? Oh, it's brother. Like, how are you subjecting your people to that?
I can honestly say I was not there for that, but I heard about that shit and I was livid.
But you don't think at least a little bit Ilya was justified in some of the,
Of course he was. That's why I spoke to him so many times. If it was just one, I'm not just going to do something off of one thing. You know that. It was so many fucking things. And for that, what am I going to do? Argue with him? I'm going to say, hey, shut the fuck up. The Don said to go do this. I'm going to be like, hey, you're not wrong. I mean, you can ask Marty. I don't agree with every fucking decision. But at the end of the day, I got to make sure that the people fall in line and do that fucking decision, or at the very least understand and see the bigger picture. And if they don't, that's on me. So I tried to push that over and over and over. So much so that I think I just gave up I gave up too much power to him. And that is on me. I was talking to him like a fucking friend, like, hey, you just gotta stick it through, You guys know what I'm fucking trying to say. I've talked to Marty about this before too.
Get it. Listen, I get it. We don't gotta be a dead horse. To me, it's just now we're forced to like rethink everything we're doing in the North. That's just the reality. So we're not going to be subject to the shit y'all are doing in the South, and that's just with all the respect. And I hope that you allow me to tell the Dons that myself.
What does that mean? Subject to?
Brother, I'm not. Listen,
when have you guys been subject to do anything?
See, you still don't get it. You still don't. And this is where I'm starting to understand. Maybe you guys weren't sticking to all the shit that we talked about, because from the North,
well, like what? Ask, and I can answer you.
As one to everybody in this fucking city. That is how we have represented ourselves. So the things the South are doing in our mind reflect us, and the things that we do in our mind reflect you guys. That is how. That is where we. Okay, so then how are you confused for me saying I'm not going to subject myself to the shit y'all are doing? How's that confusing then? I'm not going to be the guy that's known to have a gun thrown in my face, and then the guy walks away, or subjecting my people in my crew to go fucking roll around with the guys that shoot around them every day. I'm never going to have the reputation tied to me. You might not care. And listen, I don't care about my reputation in certain circumstances where it doesn't matter. But there are certain things that matter very much to me, and that is one of those things. And you and everybody in this people fucking city know where my morals stand when it comes to this gang shit. You ain't shooting me and taking me to the hospital later.
Oh, I know that.
I will never be subject to a crew that does that or is okay with that. And I'm not judging you for changing your mind on that and allowing that to be okay within your crew. To me, it goes back to what I just said. We have a lot of thinking to do from us in the North because we're not going to be subject to what the direction the South is willing to go and choosing to go to.
Mm-hmm. Well said, Lang.
Do you feel like your hands are like tied in this? Like,
I'll be honest, my hands are tied with Ilya because I don't think that guy deserves to be outcasted on a whim, and I don't think the guy. Have you guys even spoken to him since this has happened? Yes. Has there been an attempt to speak to him?
Speedy did, yeah. He called Speedy this morning.
Okay, so he's the one reaching out. So none of you are even reaching out to him. You see what I mean? It's just the way the situation going.
I mean, I wouldn't say all that. He just happened to reach out to Speedy. Like, I can see the perspective on that, but
have you called him today?
I didn't fucking call him today.
Oh, there you go. Then you're not making an attempt to reach out to the guy. Listen, you don't have to. It's fine that you're not doing these things. I'm not judging you for it, but stop pretending you're doing things that you're not very clearly not doing. You haven't called the guy today, so you're not trying to reach out to the guy.
No.
And the fact of the matter is,
why would I reach out to the guy if he's already fucking bled out?
So then how are you going to stand there and be like, I'm not okay with what happened, but then just be okay with what happened? It's very confusing, Clark. Because if you weren't okay
because
with
I kind of have to be okay with what happened.
Reach out with a guy.
I'm not a fucking Don, man. You guys said it yourself. I'm not a fucking Don. I can't make these fucking decisions.
So you can't call the guy?
Lang, other than some closure, which I'd be happy to provide, but I believe Speedy already provided. And I don't hate the fucking guy, like I've said many times. What the fuck would that do?
Okay, so stay on the fact that you blotted him out, and that you don't give a fuck, and stop pretending that you're not okay with what happened. That's it. Because you can't have one and the other. It's either one or the other. And it's fine, whatever you choose. I'm not going to judge you for it. I'm not going to come after you for it.
Didn't I already say that?
You literally just said. You literally just said that you don't agree with what the fuck is going on. That is what you just said.
Oh, on another decision, sure.
Fine. But it's fine to agree with what the fuck is going on within the South. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. We might judge you for it. We might laugh at you for it. But if that's your decision, you're allowed to have that decision. The part where my hands are tied is Ilya's not a treasonous to us.
I get that.
And I'll speak for myself here. I don't think what happened to him is deserved. And I don't think he should be outcasted and exiled for it. So that's where our hands are tied, because we have no idea what the fuck to do about the situation now. Very difficult.
Well, what are the options?
The only option we probably really have, well, we have two options. Is one, we swallow this and live with the fact that Ilya's gone and move on and, continue to be North and South and just, be subject to the shit that's going on down there. That's option one. Or option two is we cut ties completely. Those are the only two options that I see. Unless you or Martin see other options, those are the only two options that I see.
Marty, what do you think? Because before we had this conversation, we had conversations, Lang, when you made North Cyprus. Marty, I know your intent was keep Cyprus together by any means necessary. And mine was as well.
Yeah, so you want me to be fully honest here?
Well,
I
obviously.
think if we listen, I'm for Cyprus, okay? You need to understand when I say this that this decision and thought process that I have is for the life of Cyprus, and so it doesn't die. I think if we don't separate to some degree, more than what we have now, the death of Cyprus comes because we will end up shooting each other and killing each other, and I don't really want to see that. So I kind of agree with Lank, and it's kind of just how it has to be. At least,
Well, let me be
unless
clear.
there's a.
I haven't made my decision yet. I'm simply laying out the options here.
I just think that that is the direction it has to head, or things will just turn sour unless there's a better solution. But like I've also thought about this myself, like independently. Because when this got brought up to me, you know, I'm a pondering guy, so
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't thought of a better solution here.
What options do you see, Clark?
Well, I just kind of think back to our conversations when the split initially happened.
Yeah.
And you had your predictions. I had mine. Most of those overlapped.
Right.
I mean, obviously, I never wanted it to get to this point. But
You about to say something?
yeah, I mean, it's just confusing, you know. Would you want? So you're saying completely split, completely.
Well, I don't think it's been fleshed out.
Yeah, we are simply laying. We are talking hypotheticals here, okay? And
Yeah.
this is
Yeah.
beyond Cyprus. This is
No, I
this
understand.
is friends caught in a situation. I laid out the only two options I saw. Mar laid out the only options he saw. What are the options you see?
I mean, I think there's a big fucking disconnect with you and the rest of the Dons. I think if that can be mended, which I don't know if it can be, because obviously I'm not in those conversations. But, you know, from what I've been hearing, it doesn't sound like it can be. Like, you guys seem like you're always on the opposite end of thinking.
It's not. The thing is, it's not.
But I don't see a way. I think those two options are possible. But I wouldn't throw one big Cypress out.
Clark.
Well, that's why I reach out.
And
Like,
and
you
I
know
don't
that.
care whether you guys and I don't care whether you guys believe this or not. But if I blurted out, let's say Martin today, I'm calling the dot. Listen, I actually have a prime example of me doing this. Okay, we've had a situation ongoing with Gigi. We've had a ongoing situation with Gigi, Skipper, and CJ. Before I even thought of any potential killing of anybody, the first thing I did was call a Luciano. I think I don't think Harry was there. He might have been there. And I had a meeting. And I explained everything that was going on. And I told them we should handle this together. We should call Gigi over here. We should have conversations as to what's going on. That was the first thing that I did. Before I even thought about blowing somebody out. Because I felt like, hey, listen, this could lead down some fucked up shit. These guys need to know about what the fuck is going on. Okay? You guys blowed out Ilya. In OG. And I don't want to hear, oh, why don't you take him to the north if you give a fuck so much about him? I don't care to argue that. In OG. You pawned off to somebody else to handle it. And then I had to go and pretty much hunt down this information myself. And then that information came from you and not the Dons themselves. It's a very one-sided situation when it comes to being on the same page.
I agree with that. I completely agree that the disconnect has been fucking abysmal. And look, obviously I want you guys to know everything. I told everyone that came to the north off rip. You guys may not see it the same. You'll probably have your own underboss. You will maybe eventually lose, you know, whatever friendship or fucking relationship or respect we may have. But I'll always have your back no matter what. I said that to every single fucking person that went to the north. Because I still believed, and still believe now, even though all this shit's happened, that one Cyprus is possible. Now, maybe it wasn't reciprocated. I don't fucking know. But I agree with you there. I don't know why that you guys don't have common fucking
I'm gonna be
conversations.
I'm gonna be transparent with you, okay? And I'm gonna trust that you're not gonna say anything, just so you don't cause me problems.
Like, there's so many things I haven't said. Come on, you know I'm not gonna say shit.
But at the end of the day, I trusted Annie to not say anything, and she betrayed my trust. So I don't know what the fuck goes on in the South anymore. But the reality is your leadership is insanely weak. Okay, Arush, I don't know what Arush does anymore. He was the only hope I thought you guys had of strong leadership, but to me, it seems like he's fucking retired and doesn't give a fuck. And then I'm not going to sit here and just insult the fuck out of Luciano because I can go on for hours, and Harry.
I know.
But I think the leadership is insanely weak in the fucking South. And it doesn't necessarily mean that you guys aren't up good and you guys aren't fucking progressing and shit, because I'm sure that you guys are. But I think just the direction of things is crazy, because when I hear about the things going on with the besties, I know for a fact Luciano would allow, but I also know for a fact that Arush would have lost his mind. So I'm wondering, okay, who is choosing that these things happen, and how are people just being? Have you guys voted on anything recently? Do you guys still vote on shit?
Yeah.
So this bestie situation, was everybody okay with that?
Well, maybe I just wasn't in the room, but that, to my knowledge, was not voted on.
Right.
It seems like something we're just doing.
Just from an outside looking in, it just seems like there's no direction there, and people are just doing what they want.
I get that.
And
also, what's your source of information?
Ilya, what was that?
What's your source of information? Like I said, I don't care if people are telling you guys things. I would tell you fucking everything myself.
I mean, my source of information is you, it's Zeke, it's the Dons every once in a while. Obviously, a lot of the information also came from Ilya, and I forgot who told me about the manor shit. I forgot who it was, but I was told about this maybe like 2 weeks ago.
I thought I called you about the manor shit. But I don't think I told you what happened.
I don't know. But I don't know. People just give me bits and pieces of information. Truthfully, I don't have the whole picture of the South.
Right. I think that's partially my point. And especially if you're talking to Zeke, who thinks he knows everything but doesn't. And we'll say shit that doesn't happen. It doesn't help.
And look, I'm fully willing to admit that maybe things aren't as bad as they seem, and maybe there's some sort of middle ground that actually could be found. Right? But then I have a meeting with the Dons today. And Arush only called me because Andy told him to call me. They probably would have never called. Right? And then, well, not even 5 minutes within this meeting, it's being thrown in my face. Well, why didn't you just take Ilya to the north then?
Mm.
Like, it's almost being spun like, brother, this is your fault. You should have taken him if you didn't want us to kill him.
Mm.
When I'm simply was standing there trying to explain, like, guys, this is just never how we've done things.
Lang's so good, bro.
Period. And so then I looked at Rich and I said, look, Rich, if you're going to continue to be emotional and argue, I'm just going to leave. And then we left. I wasn't there to look for an argument. To Harry's credit, he was actually there. He was pretty calm and didn't seem like he was looking for an argument. But Arush, right off the bat, wanted to argue.
I mean, I don't like fucking hearing that, obviously.
Well,
I'm still in the mind that shit could work out. I mean, we said
it can, but it
seems like it hasn't been, which is fucking annoying.
What's not going to allow this to work out is the fact that I'm not going to wash my hands clean of Ilya. I'm just not. I don't know what exactly that means or how I'm even going to go about that, because truthfully, I just don't know. But I know for a fact is I can't let that guy just be casted away.
And I understand that.
So it's tough, right? Like,
I don't really at the end of the day, you're a fucking Don, so you can make that decision, and everyone's gonna have to fall in line and respect that, north and south.
But we both know for a fact like how the chaos is gonna ensue from that. Come on, Clark. I can already hear Luciano from the skies and Harry, brother.
Yeah, but why would you care?
I care because listen, whether you guys want to believe it or not, when I split North and South, I really wanted us to be unified and not go against each other.
I believe that.
So when I welcome Ilya with open arms, what do you think Harry and
I don't think
Luciano
they're gonna care.
are likely to say?
What the hell is so funny?
I don't think they're gonna care. Truthfully, not because they couldn't give a shit about the North, but because like the North's got shit going on, and we're not bitching about it. We have no right to bitch about it. Who cares? When I say we, obviously, I mean,
then tradition is dead there for sure. If they're not gonna, is the city like fucking up badly for you guys right now?
No, I'm chilling.
Or is it just me?
Might be you. Hey, you got any extra food or not?
Yeah, like try to eat this glizzy and tell me like if you know if it's all good.
I'm eat this
like
glizzy.
If it's yummy.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's fine.
See if it's up to code.
It's not glizzy. There you go.
Oh yeah, that shit is yummy. Let me get a drink.
There's some drinks too right there.
Yeah.
I'm just confused because on one side, not one side, but like I hear, well, who cares? You know, if it's who cares, then traditions are dead. But it's also like you should have the freedom to do what you want. There should be some separation. Right?
Yes and no, but
and there should be respect for that separation.
We kept Cyprus ideologies, right? Me welcoming back a blooded out member on a technicality is fucked, right? That is just a no-go. And the reality is, if a Don made a decision to blood somebody out, I can't go as another Don and be like, hey, welcome here to open arms. Like we've agreed to never do that. So on a technicality, me doing that and then them saying I don't give a fuck is fucked, right? Because I shouldn't do that and they shouldn't not give a fuck. I know it's confusing, but that's just the reality.
No, I mean, double standards exist. Like, I get it. Or like, you know, I get what you're saying. But I don't know, maybe I'm just fucking completely naive to the whole thing. And I'm just stuck in a delusional fucking loop. But I think if you guys could just communicate way better, then obviously it's not just one side, right?
I just don't think it's possible, brother. I'm resented by a lot of people in the South. That's just the truth. And I get that I did some crazy shit by splitting.
I know you're gonna say Lucian and Harry, but like who else?
Lush, Harry, Arush, Queenie. I'm pretty sure Cuddles vaguely threatened me. I'm pretty sure Cuddles vaguely threatened me last week when I saw her at Senior Buns. Definitely Vito. I mean, bro, the list goes on.
I mean, Vito, you know, I think Vito hates everyone, to be honest, except for Lush and Queenie.
And what even further divides the potential is the direction that Luciano wants to take Cyprus and the direction that I am taking Cyprus as well, right? I ain't bending over for nobody ever in my life. He put me down if I do that. Martin will kill me. He's got permission to kill me if I ever say, hey, Martin, go hang out with the besties, even though they just robbed you for $1 million. He has permission to kill me the day I say that.
Say on God.
On God. On everything I love.
Okay.
Look, I'm not happy with that shit either. And you know,
I would love nothing more.
I think we're taking steps.
I would love nothing more for things to go back the way they were. But the reality is, it's not possible. And there's things that kind of show that, right? Even the first meeting I had with the Dons today in a long time, well, not even a long time, probably like a week or two. Within 5 minutes, me and Arush are going at it. Mm-hmm. So it's clearly like nothing's changed. And that's I just can't be subject to that anymore, and they can't be subject to that anymore.
I think you got to go through that shit though, right? To get to the fucking meat and potatoes, you got to get to the right spot.
Oh, because the leadership has changed. Listen, me and Arush worked so well because we were the exact same leaders. Arush is such a different leader now. He's more on the side of Luciano.
No, he's more on this. I mean, we're calling people hangarounds, not associates. He's more on the side of gangbang. I'll be honest.
It doesn't matter. Like the
like
thing is,
if that helps, the mentality.
The Arush I know or knew would have gone to the war with the Manor and the Besties the day those specific situations happened.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. If Arush was there, it would have ended differently.
Sure. It doesn't matter if he was there or not, though. Even if he heard about it later, he would have sought revenge. Almost he would have done what Arush does. He would have rode out on his bike, got high as fuck, pulled out his wrench, and start fucking motherfuckers up. That's the Arush that I love leading with. And truthfully, Harry, when our entire blow up happened, he had a lot of shit bottled up, buddy. That came out. He had a lot of shit bottled up. Now he's playing it off that he was just angry, being an asshole, but there's a truth to almost everything that you say, right? A little bit. He had a lot of shit bottled up. And to me, it showed me, okay, fucking Harry does not want to lead together anymore. We've done this for too long. This is how he feels. Okay. And then with Luciano, truthfully, I don't think he should have ever been a Don. He's just not cut out for it.
Whoa, who did you just say?
And these are things I'm telling you in confidence.
Like, I'm not going to go spread this. Come on. I know you feel the need to say that, but you don't have to say that.
Should have probably been like our underboss or our consigliere or whatever the fuck. That's just my opinion. That's where I think those are the things that I think allowed this to come to where it's at now.
I mean,
I don't know how.
With all that in mind, then, now that I have a better picture of your thoughts, that third option is not an option then, right?
Well, wait,
what was the third option?
Coming together. You think that's too far gone?
But what do you mean? Come together like joint leadership again? Is that what you mean by that?
A version of it, sure.
The thing is, I kind of tried that, right? Like when I split the North and the South, I approached the Dons. Oh my God, the snow is gone. Hallelujah, praise
Holy
Jesus.
Fuck.
Thank fucking God. Oh my God. Anyways,
the snow.
When the North and South, when I split it, and I don't know. I want to see if he's.
I want to see if he says he wants to take over.
And I made this, and I emphasized.
I don't think he will, but I'm curious.
I think we should fight each other's wars. I think we should do cargo together. I think we should be separate but unified. I emphasize this all the time, and I was questioned at every turn, and then I was returned with like counter negotiations on them wanting to be more split. So like coming together, like it's just not. These guys don't want it, brother. And their reasons may be right. Their reasons may be wrong. Who knows? But they want to do their own thing, brother. They want to, and it's very clear that the minute I, split, the directions are very different. So it kind of does show that they really want to do their own thing.
I think there's truth in that.
I think there's a tiny bit of truth in that, but I think no. No, I don't really agree.
You think they'd be willing?
Well,
no, brother. Fuck no.
Well,
I don't think they would. In a world where they have to work with Lang again, they would never do that.
I would say it's a coin flip.
I would agree.
It's a coin flip with, I think, only maybe Harry, depending on the day that you catch him. The Rouge, it's a fuck no, and with the Luciano, it's a hell no.
What if it's
hell fucking no?
What if there's two options? What if it's completely separate? Completely, like entirely, or come together and try. Do you think? What do you think?
The thing is, right? We come together, we try. Everybody knows my leadership style.
Sure. Okay,
and these guys are not going to stand up to a single thing. They're not going to contend a single thing. They're just going to be happy that somebody's around carrying all the load. But then the minute that something goes wrong,
changed.
No,
to cut you off.
Listen. And then the minute that something that goes wrong, there's going to be a cross, and there's going to be a guy you put there to crucify, and that guy's Lang. I'm sorry, brother, and I'm not trying to paint myself as a victim here, because I really don't give a fuck at the end of the day. But that's just how it's going to happen. Because when I come and I lead, I don't take bullshit. I say what needs to be fucking said, and I hold everybody accountable. And I'm not going to get fucked in the ass by nobody. And that sort of leadership also causes a lot of problems at the same time. It's very easy just to be passive, everybody to chill, avoid the drama, avoid this. That's the easier way, because it just brings less problems. Agreed. And you're just way more autopilot. I'm not like that at all, and you know that.
Yeah.
So I just don't see us ever collaborating in a way where it's positive for anybody. I could be wrong. That's just how I see it.
When we talked about this last, I think at the time, right, a few months ago, I think you're right. But now I don't think that's the case. I think, sure, there's disagreements there that maybe probably just haven't been yet. And whether it has to come to a fucking middle ground or just accept it, I think it can be accepted. That's just my take. I know you guys, the bits and pieces of information, I can't blame you for not having the full picture, but I'm always fucking here, And I understand you're probably like, well, why didn't you call me? Well, motherfucker, I'm doing my best to put out fires. you know. So I can't say, you know, I'm 100% right on this, but I truly believe it's possible.
Brother, here's what we do. We split off completely. You come over, bring everybody over, leave the fucking South Dons and their leadership to fucking eat themselves alive, brother. How about that? That's the fourth. I'm throwing the fourth option on the table.
If he gets my underboss rank, I quit. I quit.
You can be my underboss, Marty.
You can't have my fucking rank. That's the one condition. That's the fifth option.
Yes, my underboss.
All right.
That's an absolute new. The thing is, Clark, I miss you, right? And listen, when I was there, it was me and you for a lot of it. Towards the end, especially towards the end.
That's right.
And I mean, listen. I don't know. I just think Arush is retired. Harry is retired. And I just don't think Luciano's cut out for leading. So it's very difficult.
I'm gonna be honest. Speedy, he came back and he turned shit around recently. What I mean by that is vibes were very down. Speedy came back, vibes immediately up. Not just the morning crew. Obviously he does that for the morning crew. Everyone, you know, he kind of brought everyone in the morning together and around. But retired is the complete opposite of what he is. Harry, as you know, when he's around and he's locked in, my God, it's amazing to witness. And Lush, same thing. He's, you know, he's been busy with other things. It's been mainly me around this time, just me. But I just think you got the wrong idea of the Dons and who they are now.
The thing is, my big problem with Harry and Luciano is the way they so willingly flipped everything on me.
I agree with that. I think the accountability was definitely an issue.
Truth be told, I don't think it's something I'll ever be able to get over. Whenever I see them, that's all I think about.
I don't think you should. Well, I don't really think you should try to take it too much to heart. I think it's just
I think it was a poor reaction.
Tony Corleone asked Harry.
Tony
Corleone asked Harry Brown if he saw me getting brutally murdered in a burger shop, would he help? And Harry Brown said no.
Okay. Well, let me explain.
Never letting that go.
Let me explain. You said that they were happy for you to steer the ship, and that people like Luciano should not have been a Don, right? Okay. I don't want to speak ill on anybody in Cyprus, but I also agree. I don't think that some of those Dons, if not most of those Dons, should be in a leadership position. And I think it was a showcase of poor leadership and how they wanted to react and steer the ship once they knew that they had to steer the ship at that moment. It was a very clear showcase of what would go wrong if Lang wasn't, right? And that's why I don't think you should take it to heart. It's because I don't think they were trying to attack you. I think they were just panicking and just really did a 180 because they didn't know what the fuck else to do.
You were absolutely used. Tell me if this translates well, Marty. Lang, you were absolutely used as a scapegoat.
Yeah.
And I don't think that would stay the case, but I agree, you were absolutely used as a scapegoat. Because I think that was whether it was the most palatable reason to move, palatable way for people to swallow something and move forward. Now, is that a good fucking reason? Fuck no. But I don't think that's a permanent reason. But I understand the way you feel about it.
No, yeah, I understand how you feel.
I've been the scapegoat before. That shit fucking sucks. And you're like, what the fuck did I do?
I mean, like I said, for me, it's not that I hate them or harbor any sort of ill will. It's just whenever I see them, it's all I think about.
Yeah.
So it's even very hard for me to get over that.
Yeah.
I understand.
But Harry more so than Luciano, because truthfully, like I don't know Luciano that well. I've known him for a few years. Harry I've known damn near since my early teenagehood. I've known the guy. The fucking up and coming wannabe. He was in the fucking police academy, become a cop, and was a fucking snitch PI. That's how long I've known Harry.
I didn't even know that.
And then boom, just the way he flipped that shit was crazy. It was just crazy to watch in real time, brother. It was crazy. But yeah, I don't know. There is option 4, and listen, just because these are options doesn't necessarily mean I want to do any of these options. These are just things that I can think about.
I know. Look, it's I have my regrets. I try to, live my life without him. Not making any fucking regrets, but I'm not ecstatic with how things went down. At the same time, shit happens. I think that's a shit excuse, but unfortunately it's true. And I just want the best for Cyprus, whatever the fuck that is. I think you guys are the same. I think there's a way we can find a middle ground there. Obviously, I care about you guys. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here, and I would just be stirring and causing more problems so that the South would hate the North. But I have never done that, and I will never do that. So if there's any fucking clarity or any opinions or anything that you might hear that sounds like bullshit or that fucking gets under your skin because it sounds like, maybe it sounds real, just fucking call me. That's all I ask.
Will do. Like I said, I think the only options really are the ones of the that caution on the side of extreme. So it's still be split completely, or I poach everybody and let leadership die in the South. It's there's coming together. I really do think it's impossible. You can bring it up to the Dons though and see what they say. Maybe try to say I'm actually curious of their reaction. You maybe bring it up for and see it for yourself. I don't know.
Yeah. I won't mention everything. I'm not gonna throw your thoughts, all your thoughts and dirty laundry everywhere. But I appreciate you guys being here, even though you were hiding in the trunk.
I didn't even know he was in the trunk, Clark. I don't even know how the fuck he got there.
I 100% believe
I don't
you,
know
Marty.
his involvement.
I 100% believe you,
know.
because that is your car.
CJ was telling me that he can fly, and I'm starting to think it's true. He might be a crow, but I think he flew over here. That's what
I can't fly. I don't know what you're talking about.
Listen, look at him. There's no way he can fly.
Well, I don't know how the hell he got in my trunk. No clue.
I believe you, Marty.
Thank you.
All right, well, you guys take care. And call me for clarity, please. And with Ilya, like you're in the North, but you're still my Don as well. So whatever you guys do, I'll always be about it.
And I'm your underboss.
That's right.
If option 4 goes through, then you will be
5.
my option 5. Then you will be my underboss. Yes. Appreciate you guys.
Yes.
All right,
Clark.
You guys take care.
All right, Clark. Bye.
Goodbye.